So I'm joined today by Krzysztof Bosak, who is a leader of the national movement in the Confederation Party. And
Hello.
Thank you for joining me.
Nice to see you again in Poland.
Thanks. And I'd like to ask you some questions just to explain to people and get some information for myself as well about the Polish Independence Day March and Polish views on the UK more generally. So to start off, I attended the Independence Day March on the 11th, and it was good fun to say the least. But some of the questions I have is, for example, is the Polish armband an accepted thing that you can wear on that day for everyone? Or like the poppy is in the UK, we wear a poppy for remembrance? Or is it politically divided?
To have Polish national colors, Polish flag on your arm, yeah, it is completely accepted. It is a sign of patriotism, so everybody can use it. Sometimes some people are against in the summer when you have a T-shirt because they believe that it is not enough formal to wear Polish colors from Polish flag to the T-shirt, not to the jacket or to the coat. Yes, but in November we do not have such a problem, so there is no controversy.
Okay. One of the other things is that, are you aware of what's been happening in the UK leading up to Remembrance Day or Polish Independence Day?
We try to follow news from most important European countries. Of course, we know a little bit, but probably not everything.
So the big story was basically since the Israel-Palestine conflict started again, in the UK, there have been massive marches of mostly the Muslim and left-wing population of the UK saying Free Palestine every weekend. Mm-hmm. And then there was a march that coincided with November the 11th, which is a solemn day in the UK because it's to remember everyone who died in World War I and every war since. Mm-hmm. So has there been anything like that in Warsaw or Poland where you've had Palestinian marches?
We had small gatherings in two most important cities in Poland, in Warsaw and in Krakow. It's because migrant population in Poland is increasing, especially under Law and Justice government. This government was against illegal immigrants, but they invited to Poland hundreds of thousands of legal immigrants. And many of them are in favor of Palestine, so they organized such marches. They were peaceful, they were not very big, maybe a few hundreds people.
So in the UK, because of that ethnic change that's happened over the last few decades, British politics is now completely divided on Israel-Palestine being our main point of discussion. Is that the case in Polish politics or not?
In Polish politics, we can, of course, we can debate such an issue. Law and Justice traditionally was a very pro-Israeli party, but since conflicts in 2018, they stepped back a little and they tried to be a little bit more neutral because Israeli politicians were quite, let's say, not very nice. Even we can say that they were aggressive towards Polish politicians. So after that, they stopped their very pro-Israeli policy, and now some people support Palestine, some people are in favor of Israel, and I think majority believe that we should not take one side. We should rather support peace and condemn crimes. Whoever is doing the crimes, we should be against, and to support peaceful way of dealing with this conflict. Of course, we know that it's maybe it's even not possible, but
I mean more to the point of, is every day when you're having political discussions, is it centered around this issue?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Because that's a big difference, I feel, right now.
No. We had elections, and Polish debate is around our process of forming new government, and around our interest and our conflicts with Brussels, with Ukraine, with other countries. And no,
Things that actually affect
I would
Poland.
not say that it's a central issue in Polish debate. No, absolutely not.
So the next question I had back to the march is, I wonder, I don't know if you attended this year's one. But
Yeah, of course.
So one of the things people see every year is there's a small block of people in what's called black bloc. They all wear black outfits. And these people are usually put in the media as to show that the whole march is fascist or white supremacist or something like this. I was wondering, what's your view on them coming to the march every year?
Well, this term "black bloc" could be is not very clear because of also leftists use it
Yes.
on their anti-fascist march, and they organize always. They try to block March of Independence for many years, but they didn't succeed. And since maybe 7 or 8 years, they don't try to block. They organize in a different part of the city their own march, small, without Polish flags, with left-wing symbols, and it looks like a black bloc. And this group that you said, I would rather say that it's a nationalist bloc or radical nationalist bloc. These are people who are members of many different small and radical organizations. They were always on the march. They have their own views. They would like to express their views. They do not break the law. So they have the right to be there. They are Polish patriots. I do not agree with them on many levels. And they probably don't like me because they think that I'm too centrist. They even had some slogans against us as a confederation this year. So it's something new for us even. But it was always like that on the March of Independence, that many different groups with different views and people who support different football clubs or different political parties, let's say from radical nationalists to people who support law and justice, they march together because of the respect for Polish independence and Polish state and Polish tradition, history, heritage, and because of patriotism. It started during progressive government of civic platform. So it was a biggest opposition manifestation against political correctness and against center-left government. This is how it started, and I think it's good that we are so different and we are on the one march and we accept that situation.
So just to be clear...
And everybody are peaceful.
Show the footage, of course, but just to be clear, like the march of people who are just Polish patriots is thousands of people, and then there's about 200-something of these people in black bloc.
It's always like that, that 99% of participants are normal people, different age, different style, but not connected with any political or ideological groups. And of course, mainstream media always take focus on 1% who is engaged in some groups and try to do something provocative. So we get used to this situation. It's always like that.
But there's a massive amount of political diversity there. I mean, I saw people who were like Catholic nationalists.
We had different blocks in this march. For example, traditionalist bloc. We had a national movement bloc. In previous years, also youth Catholic or nationalist organization organized their own bloc, like All Polish Youth. They had their own supporters of law and justice. Sometimes organized their bloc. I think it's like a big event with many opportunities to see different people in one place. I think it's excellent, and we have always guests from different European countries. During 14 years that we organized this March of Independence, we had big groups from Italy, from Hungary, from Sweden, from England, United Kingdom, from Spain, from France, from many different countries with their own flags, banners, last 2 years, maybe also from Ukraine. And it's quite interesting that we can see all these people who are patriots and who would like to march together. Even they are not Poles, but they
support the Polish
they
nation.
see the goals. I think that they support the idea of patriotism, because in many European countries we do not see
level
big
of
patriotic marches.
But that level of political diversity, I mean, I saw people, for example, all the way from being completely normal centrist Polish flag wavers to people who were there with anti-Azov banners, Catholic nationalists, and then in the Black Bloc, I'd find people even with like the Black Sun. There was one guy with that. So is the reason this is the case, this massive political diversity, is it because it's a march open to everyone, and therefore, if you support Poland, even if you're a socialist or a communist, they would be allowed to be there?
Good question. I don't think so. I think that everybody feels that there is a spectrum for Polish patriots, and we can argue on many issues. For example, last 2 or 3 years, we had groups who are pro-Ukrainian and who are anti-Ukrainian on some level. But you should accept basic values, and these values is, I think, Polish independence, national sovereignty, respect for the tradition, respect for Christian values, and of course communists, socialists do not accept this. And what is most important, they do not accept the organizers, which are Polish nationalists who organize this march, and they hate people who organize this march, so they will never come. This is a big problem for them, that so big manifestation is organized by somebody who they believe do not deserve to be in debate, to be in media, to be anywhere. They would like to cancel us. First Polish March of Independence one was in 2010, and they tried to physically block it, and they openly said that they try to copy the strategy of German anti-fascists. So they branded organizers, my colleagues and me, in fact, as Nazis, which was 100% false. And they try to use even symbols from Holocaust era to stop. For example, they used people who were close, like from German Nazi camps, to show that they are anti-Nazi. In my opinion, it was not provocative. It was stupid and horrible that they used this sign. But of course, always media are critical towards us, not towards leftists.
But there's another aspect in at least the Anglosphere about Poland in the opposite way, which is quite often Poland, compared to the West, is portrayed as some kind of paradise for right-wingers. What do you think about this meme?
Every society and every country has its own problems. We do not have problems with so strong political correctness that you could be kicked out from media, from a university, or from the company for having such views like our. But we have different problems. For example, we are a country after half a century of communism. So our elite is shaped by communist system. And we are, people with my views, are tiny minority in every institution controlled by the elite. So we do not have something like, let's say, old conservative establishment, something like that. That does not exist in Poland, because first Germans and then Soviets completely killed everybody who were traditional elite of Poland, or pushed them outside, for example, to United Kingdom during or after Second World War. So we have different problems, and of course Poland is changing, as every European countries, and it is not changing in the good direction. We are becoming more multicultural. We are open for legal mass immigration. younger generation is becoming more and more progressive because of mainstream media propaganda. So all these mechanisms created to change the society, they also work in Poland, but the starting point was later than in your country or in France or in Germany, Western Germany. So we have I think that we have maybe 30 years more to learn on your experience, but the direction is quite similar, unfortunately. And right-wing forces in Poland are not so strong as you can think. For example, Law and Justice government is branded in mainstream international media as a national conservative or even nationalist or even radical nationalist government. It's completely not true. It's typical center-right government with people who sometimes have good speeches with good message, and they do something opposite in Brussels, in our capital city, in Parliament. So this is why we created Confederation Freedom and Independence. It is because we believe that Law and Justice and their government, they do not represent interests of Polish people. It's quite similar to many European countries. For example, let's say France. Yes, you had center-right party, but there are not based on right-wing values. So
I mean, for me, the UK comes to mind, the Conservatives being practically a joke. I've even found here.
I think that your situation is the worst in Europe, probably, because you had a political party, let's say alternative right party, but after Brexit, it is not in parliament. And of course, we can try to find one Tory party member who will be good guy, but
that's about it.
We need hundreds to not one not one MP, but hundreds to change the situation. So I think the situation of British nation is very complicated. In fact, I don't know what to do in such situation. Maybe to work on social level with normal people. But in politics, when you are blocked, in fact, we had a similar problem. I was youngest MP first, and then 12 years outside the parliament. And for 12 years, we tried to create new political party to enter the parliament. We had many. We tried many times, and we didn't succeed. But now with Confederation, we built a wider alliance of, let's say, Catholic Christian nationalists, conservative libertarians,
even monarchists, as I understand,
and anti-communists, traditionalists. Some of them believe that they are monarchists. Yes, but it's not a political agenda. It's rather, let's say, ideological dream. For now, it's a dream only.
So my last question, just to end this off. So bringing up Poland's views on the UK, the big one for me is the news broke that if economic trends continue, Poland will be richer, the average Pole will be richer, than the average person in the UK by about 2030. What do you think about all this?
If this is true, I will be very happy. I think that hard work should be beneficial. This is our ideal in Confederation. That people who work, who are entrepreneurs, who run small businesses, should work in such an environment that they could collect some money or some property. And I know that it's very hard in England to be ordinary people, normal man, and to pay bills. Yes, this whole debate, housing crisis, and so on. I know that probably one of the reasons is mass immigration to England, unfortunately. But these are your problems. You know them very well. What about Poland? We do not believe in such optimistic scenarios 100%. We believe people who produce these scenarios, they are mainstream economists. When you take situation of normal men in Poland, it's also not very good. um, official statistics is not very the excellence of making this official statistics is not very well, in my opinion. So we should be quite critical. It's interesting. I do not contest this statement that we had many years of good economical development, but let's say the benefits of this development are sometimes in Western companies that operates in Polish economy. And it's politically incorrect issue to try to divide who earn what in Poland. How big benefits are from Western companies in Poland and how big benefits are from this economic development for Polish citizens and normal families. And now mass immigration started. Law and Justice government made this strategy, and we have new problems on labor market, quite similar like in Britain, maybe not with people from different continents on so much level, but the problems, for example, in Poland with very high level of Ukrainian and Belarusian and Russian immigration. These people are very similar to us. When you see us, you do not see the difference. But when you start talking and working, there are big differences. We are different nations. And we also...
but not quite as big as between, say, Poland and Sudan.
Yeah, of course. But still, if you work in the company where majority are Russian-speaking Ukrainians, your situation is completely different than if you work in with Polish colleagues in one company. So it could be even a bigger problem, because if the problem is not visible, it's harder to discuss with society how to deal with it. And in fact, we are at the beginning point of the debate about, let's say, structure of our society, how we would like to see the society, because Polish people for the last, let's say, 10 years were quite optimistic about mass immigration to Poland, maybe because we didn't have any mass immigration for a long time. So many Polish people thought, it's okay that somebody would like to come to Poland. It's a good sign. We are becoming more attractive, yeah? But after that, you have problems. You have bigger costs of economic or public policy, and somebody should pay the bills. And you should collect money for all this, like healthcare. Polish government made such a regulation that every public policy, education, healthcare, everything is for every people with Ukrainian passport. It was because of solidarity with Ukrainian nation attacked by Russia. It was very, let's say, idealistic, but not in line with Polish interests. And now we should discuss the costs of this policy. And when we started this debate, they start to brand us that we are xenophobic, we are pro-Russian. We're not pro-Russian, but we believe that we should take care about Polish budget. And one state can't pay bills for two nations. It's impossible because we are not the wealthiest nation in EU. So we have different problems than Britain, but I think that there are many similarities.
So if in 7 years we're back talking here and Poland has become richer than my country, will that be seen for you as a success of Poland or a failure of the UK?
Success of Poland, because probably your country will develop at the same time, and I think that it's normal that different countries develop in different with different dynamic, and your country is quite well developed. I don't know. Is it possible to have endless big dynamic of economic develop? I don't know. And there is a big debate among economists about this issue. In Poland, there is such stereotype that English wealth is, even in the part, heritage of this big imperium. So now you are, let's say, normal state, quite strong, but still without this all imperial structure, global structure. So different situation. And you have also some problems. In my opinion, you have the same problems as we have in EU. You left European Union, but you still your government still is introducing this stupid climate policies that put pressure on the economy and are very expensive. Our agenda is to stop this new costs for economy because we believe that they are too high. And as I know, your government is even more hawkish on this climate agenda. It's strange for me because when you left EU, you could rid of these stupid policies.
So how do you feel about Brexit then, I suppose?
We are very happy. We are very happy that there is even one, at least one European country that decided to take your independence back and to take back the control. Yes,
but you think we might have wasted it? Do you think we might have wasted it?
I would not say so.
Okay.
It would be not polite from me towards your nation, but you have still a chance of taking your future in your hands. And I see that the political elite, in fact, political elite in Britain was pushed to do Brexit by the, let's say, normal people, by the society. They didn't want Brexit. It's obvious for me. So they try to develop the same policy as EU, being outside EU. It's stupid. You could be more beneficial developing different policy. This is what I would advise. But who would propose in British politics different policy? If not Conservative Party, probably not Labour. And do you have a third party in Parliament still?
There are the Lib Dems and
Lib
so forth,
Dems,
but
yes, they are still in Parliament.
they're pretty pointless.
So they are probably more political correct than conservative.
Yeah, even.
So you need a new right-wing political party.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me.